Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Good morning, America. Welcome. And thank you for joining us on another episode of SoTellUs Time, where we talk about everything business, helping you grow, helping you get out of your own head or get out of your own way, building that business in ways and thought processes and systems and programs that you may never have thought of on your own. Today, we're going to be talking about stop living in the past. Stop living in the past, because one of the worst things we can do as a business owner is live in the past. I mean, in fact, one of the worst things we can do as a human being is live in the past.
Yes.
Chelsea and I went to our 10-year high school reunion, not recently, a long time ago. I'm an old fart. Don't worry, I'm an old fart. But we said we would never go back. It was so funny because there were so many people, and I've heard this is about what it's kind of like. 10-year, everybody's still living in the past. I mean, I'm talking the football players still showed up in their Letterman jackets, right? And the cheerleaders still had their pom-poms, and, the nerd club still sat there and played chess. It was and the potheads were still potheads. And it was like, oh my gosh, nobody's grown up. This is ridiculous, right? So, I mean, in life in general, stop living in the past. And in your business, stop living in the past. It's like we talk about or we focus on, well, our company was doing so good, or we did this and it was working. It was working so well, right? Or, I don't know. I just, when we did this prior, it resulted in this, focusing on what was working or what happened in the past or whatever can actually prevent you from moving forward in your business.
Yes.
Right? And life, people. Okay. So I'm almost tempted to go to the 20-year reunion just to see if anyone's actually moved on in life. If not, I'm going to start a life coach program.
There you go.
And I've got a whole big school that's going to be my clientele. All right, Troy, let's jump into it.
All right. So now, why should we look at the past? There is a reason why we want to look back at our past. And the only real reason to look back into our past, especially in our business, is to learn from the mistakes that we made.
There you go.
And then move forward.
Right.
But the problem is a lot of times we get stuck looking back and we aren't looking forward at all. Right. And kind of the analogy I thought of for this was, imagine driving down the road to your destination, but you spend the entire time looking in the rearview mirror to see where you were, right? Yeah. How safely are you going to arrive at your destination, right? You're going to have no idea what signs are up ahead. You're going to have no idea when to turn, right? None of that stuff, because you're so focused on where you were, which at this point doesn't matter anymore, because it's behind you. You're already past it, right? So you really need to be careful when it comes to looking at the past in your business. So how can living in the past or looking in the past hurt your business? Number one, a lot of times as business owners, we look back at mistakes we made in our business and we think about what it might have been if I just made that different choice.
I could have. What could have been?
Yeah, what could have been? Man, how could my life have been if I didn't have that business partner?
Oh, if I would have just asked Debbie out in high school.
If I would have just invested in crypto.
Seriously.
Or, if I just would have sold my crypto before it all went down.
Yeah, totally. A lot of people have lost money now.
That one too. But anyways, the point is, we should look back, we should see the mistakes.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't just relive those mistakes over and over and over again.
Yeah, because I can tell you an example of Google PPC, for instance. I hear people all this time say, well, Google PPC used to work.
Yeah.
It used to work. And now we just don't really know what to do. It's like, this is why we always tell you, you don't have one avenue of revenue.
Yeah.
If you do, you're in trouble, because when that avenue of revenue that is controlled by someone else doesn't work anymore, you're at a loss. You're like, what do I do?
Exactly. Right. And again, that's a really good point, because you may look back and go, oh, Google PPC doesn't work.
Yeah.
But maybe it does work now.
And I can tell you that we have gone through periods with the PPC for us personally that goes up and down. Sometimes it's working. And this is why it's tracking. And we talk about tracking all the time, but tracking for a year. I tell people all the time, if you haven't tracked it for a year, 12 months, you really don't have the data to make an educated decision. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, that is a hard pill to swallow. 12 months. But yeah, how can you really say? Because I can tell you that January's not, January's good. February is good. March, April, May is good. Then summertime slows down a little bit. And then the end of the year starts rocking it again. But then I can tell you that, randomly, it's funny, because if you don't know that, you just don't know if it's truly a profitable scenario or not in the long term.
Exactly. Right? So the other thing is, basically we need to learn from our mistakes and then never revisit them again. Once we've learned the lesson, there's no reason to go back there, because if we do go back there, like Trevor said, there's a lot of situations there. It can also be very damaging for you as a person, right? If you keep looking back at mistakes you made in your business, you're going to undermine how confident you are as a business owner and making decisions going forward, right? Last week, we talked about fear.
Yeah.
And how fear can paralyze you in your business.
That's right.
And again, always looking back at your mistakes might stop you from making the right decisions.
That's
going
right.
forward.
I have a personal mantra. It is tattooed across my shoulders in Old English.
Yeah.
It says, no regrets. No regrets. Now, what does that mean? What that means is that once I've made my mistake, I can't undo it. I just have to learn from it and move on. Quickly, move forward. Don't dwell in it. Getting stuck in the past is where you're going to drown. And then when people say, wow, no regrets, huh? I say, I just have one.
And it's a big tattoo on my back.
That's right. Just one regret, baby.
There you go. It's a great lesson learned there. Okay. So the other thing too is sometimes we get stuck in the past because, as Trevor said, this is the way we've always done it.
Yep.
So that's how we're going to keep doing it. And that can be a business killer.
Absolutely. Because things are evolving 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've shared the story in the past in some of our other podcasts where we talked about the one business owner who came to us. He was a carpet cleaner, and he's like, look, I don't need any marketing. I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm a referral-based business.
And my business is good. And it was.
It was great. He was servicing a very high-end retirement community kind of area that they paid a lot of money to have their carpets cleaned. They cleaned them every 6 months. And business was awesome until his client base died.
Yeah, brother.
Literally died.
And I told Troy, I said, he better get in the mortuary in business because what's he going to do when his people start dying? And I told him, I said, referrals are great until literally your clientele will die. And he's like, oh yeah, but they've got friends and family and they refer and they've got kids and grandkids and da-da-da, Yeah, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Once Betty Lou is underground, she's not telling friends and family anymore, buddy. You better hope she's saying your praises from the mountaintops.
Yeah. She didn't put it on her tombstone.
No, and she didn't.
My carpet cleaner is.
As she floated to heaven, she wasn't singing your praises to everyone where they could hear,
Yeah, so he came back and he needed marketing.
Correct.
Right? But he was so stuck in the past of what had always worked that he couldn't see where the future was.
Absolutely.
So that's really important. Another thing is, like we said, that is really true especially in marketing.
Oh yeah.
More than anything, everything is evolving so quickly that you have to be up on the latest marketing strategies and to know which ones work, because there's a ton of marketing strategies out there that don't work.
Totally.
So you got to be paying attention. The other thing too is if you're always looking back, you're going to miss the signs for the changes you need to make in your business going forward.
Right.
There are things coming ahead. And if you're so focused on the past, you're not going to be able to see those changes in the road that you need to make in order to grow your business.
Well, and remember, what you are working on and doing and implementing today is going to affect your business in the future.
Yes.
6 months or more down the road a lot of times. And people as entrepreneurs, we get so focused on today's payday, right? I want it now, that we forget to plan for the future. And so it's hard pill to swallow when we're saying, hey, look, you are building something that is for the future. This is going to be the best route to take. Sure, it's not as profitable as it is today, but you really don't have the money to do that, to do the short term and the long term, right? Like to the best of its ability. And so a lot of times the owners have a hard time with that. They're like, well, I want it right now. Well, great, but right now doesn't always work. And right now a lot of times ends up being Google PPC and things like that
they can't afford.
That they can't. A, they either can't afford it, or B, eventually it is not going to work as well, or a little shift could happen that changes everything, and you didn't invest in the future, which would be like in marketing, SEO, and content and things like that, link building. Then you're going to be hurting, and you're going to really be wishing that you would have, done something different.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times
you're going to be living in the past.
Yes, how many times a business has come to us and they're like, I need to do something right now.
Yeah.
With my marketing, like right now. And we're like, why is that? And they're like, because I'm about to go out of business.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute. So now that you're out of money and almost out of business, now you've decided to focus on marketing.
Yeah.
And
when things were great and the money was flowing, you didn't reinvest it.
Yeah.
Into the marketing. You may have reinvested, I'm not saying you may have reinvested into trucks and equipment and product or whatever that is, but you didn't reinvest it into a key piece, which was marketing. That is what's bringing the money back in, sending its little friends out and bringing his little friends back, right?
Yep.
So
exactly. So again, it's all about, being able to look down the road, forget what's happened in the past, and just focus on what you need to do in the next mile, 10, 15, 20 miles.
That's right.
Right? So that you are prepared for when those times come down the road. All right. Anything else you want to add, Trevor, before we hit the homework?
Nope. Let's hit the homework. Are you living in the past with your business? If so, it is time to let them go and focus on the future of your business. So stop thinking about what did work or what didn't work or whatever, and start focusing on the bigger picture, which is in front of you.
Yep.
The past is in the past. The future is in front of you. And today is what you can control, which is it's called a present or something like that.
There you go.
Which is why it's called the present. It's a gift. All right, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. We will check you guys out on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.